Alright. New month, new rap deep thoughts with Ratman. So, um I saw apparently I hadn't seen it until recently, but there was an episode of like Smosh. So like Smosh has this series that they do where it's like um agree disagree. They ask you like a question and or they ask, you know, the their employees a question and you either go to the left or the right depending on if you agree or disagree with the statement, you know. And so apparently it was like 7 months ago they had an episode that got a bit heated, as it would turn out, because the question was, would you drop a friend if they cheated? Or if they were like a cheater or whatever. And there were only two people that so the thing was, I would drop a friend if they cheated or were a cheater. And only two of the, like, I think it was 6 people. Only 2 of like the 6 people, 5 or 6 people, agreed with that statement. The rest disagreed, meaning that the majority disagreed that they would drop a friend, so they wouldn't drop a friend if that friend was a cheater and whatnot. And like, I don't think those people should have got as much backlash as they did for disagreeing. This is coming from somebody who one of their parents cheated, and yeah, that has caused a whole lot of mental issues for my sister mostly. It didn't really affect me too much, but it definitely affected my sister quite a bit. Mostly because she had mental issues already, so it kind of made those issues worse. For me, it didn't really affect me too much. I mean, it affected my relationship with my parents, obviously, but it didn't really, like, affect me mentally all that much. I think, at least. But, and so the way that I honestly look at it is, so to be fair, I am lucky enough that all of my friends are not bad people, or at least not, they haven't cheated. The only friend that came close, I don't really talk to anymore, not because I stopped being friends with them, but just because after everything that happened, he kind of started distancing himself. And we just don't really talk all that often anymore. But he didn't cheat, but what he did, some people would say is equally as bad. So one of my friends, Thomas, broke up with his girlfriend. It was a whole situation. If I had to go over it, that could be like an hour-long video of just everything that happened that led up to everything. The condensed version is I was hanging out with him, so it was me, Thomas, my other friend Zach, and then one of their friends that I'm like sort of friends with, but I'm not super, you know, I'm not like, I don't really hang out with that guy too often. I kind of forgot his name because I don't think I've hung out with that dude since everything happened, which was like fucking 4 or 5 years ago now. It's been a bit. But we were in the car, and I was back from Florida for, I think it was like winter break, I think is what it was. It was either winter or spring break. I was back from Florida, hanging out with them and whatnot, and we're in the car. I'm talking about all the baddies in Florida and whatnot, and then this guy, the guy who's driving, who I am sort of friends with, but he's mostly friends with my friend Thomas and Zach, he starts opening up his Snapchat and going like, these are the girls I'm talking to, and I'm like, damn, they baddies. So we're just, you know, we're being guys, we're just talking about women and whatnot. And so the topic, he starts pressuring Thomas into answering if the girl is a baddie or not. And he does this knowing that Thomas is currently dating somebody. And it turns into this thing where Thomas finally is like, yeah, she's bad, whatever. So then the friend ends up texting Thomas's girlfriend about it. And to be fair, his girlfriend's a bitch. Was his ex was not good for him. So anyways, she calls him, starts bitching at him, and he's all like, you know what, fuck it. I'm done. I'm not dealing with this toxic bullshit anymore. And so they break up. Sorry, I was looking for the 2-liter of Coca-Cola that I have right now. So anyways, after that, we hang out the next day. Same group of people, me, Thomas, Zach, and the other guy, hanging out the next day. And the dude, like, kind of apologizes, but he was all like, honestly, I did you a favor, though. And I would not disagree with that. And Thomas, that night, was mad about what happened, but then the next day he was like, you know what? You are kind of right, though. And I'm definitely already feeling happier not being with her. So now my other friend, Sam, like probably a week after Thomas and this girl break up, Sam starts dating her, and she keeps sending messages to Thomas and like with pictures of her and my friend Sam together and whatnot. And Thomas is all like, he wasn't mad at Sam for dating his ex. He was mostly mad for Sam not asking if it was okay and not telling this girl off for, you know, sending all these images and messages to Thomas, you know, trying to make him jealous or whatever. And so they end up having a falling out, and that is the worst one of my friends has acted when it comes to relationships, at least. In fact, I would say that's the worst one of my friends has acted in general. Besides that, I haven't had any friends that have actually, like, done anything that I would drop them for a friend as. You know, that's the absolute worst thing one of my friends has done. My friends have never, like, beat any of their exes, or done anything that would be worthy of dropping them as a friend. So, luckily, I've been very good at somehow, I only attract good people that are weirdos like me. So, yeah, I guess I kind of have like a internal sense of if somebody's a good person or not, and I usually just don't interact with people that I don't think are good. But the way that I see it is, when it comes to, like, if I would drop somebody for cheating, first off, did I just meet them? So if I just met somebody and I found out, like, a year ago or something like that they cheated, I would wait it out. You know, maybe they've learned. You know, maybe they have improved themselves. It's possible for somebody to cheat and then later realize, wow, that was really shitty of me, and to improve as a person, okay? I don't really believe in the once a cheater, always a cheater kind of stuff. I don't believe in anything like that, you know? I believe everybody has a chance to improve. Everybody should be given an opportunity to improve themselves. Though I also understand why some people don't feel that way, specifically for things like rape, you know, that's valid. You know, very valid. You know, it's perfectly reasonable to want, you know, a rapist to stay in prison forever. Especially like child rape or something like that. Like, that's really fucked up. And they probably deserve what's ever coming to them in prison. But, so like, I always want to give people a chance to show that they have changed. You know? I think it's possible for people to change. I mean, there's so many people who were like right-wing in 2016 and whatnot who there's like a lot of YouTubers who were right-wing talking negatively about trans people, and now they're not. And a lot of them, you know, have lost like a lot of their fan bases, so it wasn't even like a monetary thing. You know, a lot of them lost money doing that, so clearly it's not that they did it, they're not a grifter, you know? They did it because they truly have changed. So that's why I'm like, people can change, and we should allow people to change. And not hold people accountable for the rest of their life if they have shown that they are remorseful and have changed. So that's one thing. And also, I think, to defend people who would stay friends with a cheater, I would say, would you drop a family member if they cheated? Like, what if your sister or brother cheated on their girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever? Would you drop them? Would you stop interacting with your own family members? Because some people, their friends are just as close as their family members. Some see their friends as closer than family members because they have such a rough family life. And so telling somebody that, you know, oh yeah, you should drop the only people who you, you know, who haven't mistreated you in your life because they mistreated somebody else is a difficult thing to ask of somebody. So I wouldn't hold it against somebody for staying friends with a cheater. And I think it also depends on the extent of the cheating, like the specifics of the situation. How drunk did they get? Was it closer to being sexual assault because they were so drunk? Like, there's a lot of things that can go into cheating, you know? And this is one thing that I get really annoyed at, is the different levels of accountability people give depending on if you're male or female. It's really fucked up. Like, there's still so many people who just don't, they might, you know, they might not say that they don't think men can be raped, but they pretty much act that way. And it's really fucked up. You know, there's a lot of people who won't take male sexual assault seriously. And that's really fucked up. Like, a lot of people don't see it as like a man can get drunk and be sexually assaulted just like a woman, you know? Like, being drunk isn't a excuse for when a man cheats, but it is an excuse for when a woman cheats. And like, because, oh, maybe the woman was actually raped because of how drunk she was. But with a man, it's like, no, just cheating no matter what, no matter how drunk they were, and it's like, that's fucked up. And I think it comes down to the misconception that men can't get hard if they're drunk. If you're blackout, you can't get hard as a man, and it's like, that is patently false. That is patently false as a man. as a man, I know that that is false. Okay? You absolutely can get hard even if you're mega drunk. Shit, men get hard in their fucking sleep. Morning wood, motherfucker. So that's why it's like, I can't say that I would 100% drop somebody if they cheated, but if they're like a serial cheater, then yeah, probably. And I mean, this is one thing. If somebody cheats, they're probably already not a good person. Like, if they're a serial cheater, they're probably already not a good person, so I'm probably already not friends with them anyways. But some people are just an idiot and do something, and they realize, wow, that was really fucking stupid, and they don't do it again. You know, people can change. So I think for me, it would have to be a situation where they're a serial cheater, and if they are a serial cheater, I'm probably already not friends with them anyways. So yeah, I honestly don't think that the Smosh crew should have gotten as much backlash as they did for saying that they wouldn't drop a friend if they cheated. But I don't necessarily think I would agree that I wouldn't drop somebody if they cheated. But I mean, I'm also in the situation where I have, besides one of my parents cheating, I have a pretty solid family life. So it's not like my friends are the only family I have. For other people, that might be the situation they're in. Their friends are the only family they have. So they can't just drop a friend like it's nothing. And because of that, I cannot fault somebody for not wanting to drop a friend for cheating and whatnot. It's a tough thing, you know, not everything's black and white, and I feel like a lot of people just see things as black and white. And to be fair, the way that Smosh has that set up, it's either you agree or disagree. Sometimes people stay in the middle and they allow that, but I really feel like they need to have it. And I think it's been a while since I've actually watched one of those videos, but I do think they have it where the closer you are to one of the walls determines how much you agree or disagree with that statement. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But I mean, even with that, it is still a situation where you're kind of putting it into a black and white perspective of you either are yes or you're no. Even if you say, oh, I am a little bit of yes, you're still pretty much, in the eyes of people watching, you're pretty much still saying that you are yes, even if you're not fully yes. And I've never thought about that until now, but a lot of those questionnaires where it's like you select how much you agree or disagree with something, so it's like there's the middle of I don't agree or disagree, and then there's slightly agree, and strongly agree, and then, you know, the opposite with disagree. And I just thought about this. I feel like people still see it as black and white, even with those questionnaires. Because I will sit on those questionnaires and I will think where it's like, I do slightly agree, but by saying I slightly agree, isn't that sort of the same as saying I do agree? I mean, personally, I don't really sit on those questions too long. I usually select slightly agree. Very rarely do I select strongly agree or disagree on anything, because once again, I don't see everything as black and white. So a lot of the times, I am almost never on one of those extremes. I'm always like slightly agree or agree, slightly disagree or disagree. and pretty much very, very, very rarely am I ever agree or strongly disagree. But I wonder if other people actually interpret those questions as still being black and white, even with the differing shades of black and white that they allow. But I also can't really think of a good way to reword those questions, so who gives a fuck? Also, I was watching a video from this YouTube channel called, oh god, I don't know how to pronounce, Miles Bonsignor? He started this series, called Fake Lawyers Defend Blank, you know? Or, it's actually called Justice Miles, but all the titles start with Fake Lawyers Defend Blank in court, you know? And so I watched the most recent video, which was uploaded 5 days ago, which has Damien Hawes which Damien Hawes is a person, he's one of the employees of Smosh. But yeah, so it was Damien Hawes and Anna Garcia, who I don't really watch Anna Garcia too much, but I have seen her in things, and I think she's really funny. But yeah, it literally just started recently. So, like a month ago is when he first started this Justice Miles thing, so it has not been going on for too long. But after watching part of that video, I was all like, oh my god. I immediately commented, and I was all like, yo, this shit is hilarious. And I was all like, it would be really funny to have, like, real lawyers, like Legal Eagle, having Legal Eagle show up and having to, like, you have a real lawyer versus a comedian, because the fake lawyers are always, like, a comedian, like a YouTube comedian and whatnot. So I'm like, it would be absolutely hilarious to have, like, Legal Eagle, a real lawyer, going against a comedian in one of these stupid cases. I just think that would be hilarious, and the other person that I would love to see show up would be Brennan Lee Mulligan. I think having Brennan on Justice Miles is, like, so rife for the most hilarious things. Honestly, I would love to see Brennan and the dude from and Legal Eagle, you know, the guy from Legal Eagle, having those two argue in Justice Miles' court over just the dumbest thing. Like, wanna know an episode they should do? They should do one of those, like, questions that people always ask, like, is a hot dog a sandwich? I would love to see Legal Eagle actually, like, have to use his legal expertise to either, like, agree or disagree with the assertion that a hot dog is a sandwich. I just cannot think of something funnier than a real lawyer having to sit in a courtroom and argue the case of, is a hot dog a sandwich, against someone like Brennan. I just feel like they both, like, that right there, there's just so much that could happen with that. Like, these really long monologues from both Brennan and the guy from Legal Eagle, just using, like, legalese and whatnot to argue over if a hot dog is a sandwich. I need that. I need that so badly. Or better yet, having, you know, those, like, real lawyer YouTubers and whatnot, like Legal Eagle, and there was this one that I've been watching recently. What's her fucking name? Let's see. I watched one of his videos recently, so it should still be in my history. Legal Bites. She's another, like, real lawyer and whatnot, who covers, like, these insane cases that happen. You know, she's been covering, most of the videos I've watched have been covering defamation cases. But yeah, having, like, Legal Bites and Legal Evil to, like, it could be a cutaway thing where, whenever, you know, the defense and prosecution argues something, it then cuts away to Legal Eagle or Legal Bites, and they give their opinion on, like, how good of a legal defense or whatever the fake lawyers' statements were, and like like I think that would also be really funny. Because, I mean, that's kind of what they do. Legal Eagle did that with Brennan. He went over a lot of Brennan's, like, stuff where he pretended to be a lawyer and whatnot. And he went over, like, how good Brennan was at being a fake lawyer and what he did right and what he did wrong. So, like, having that, because that's what they already do a lot of the times. A lot of, like, lawyer YouTubers, they react to fake, lawyers, like, courtroom scenes. So, I mean, they already do that. So, just having it be a quick cutaway thing would honestly be really funny and is rife for some really hilarious commentary and whatnot. That's something that I would love to see. Absolutely would love to see that. But yeah, since this is only season 1, so I think the last episode, which was fake lawyers defend real daddies in court, I think that's the last episode of this quote-unquote season 1 of Justice Miles. I mean, I could definitely see season 2. Assumedly they recorded a lot of these, you know, not necessarily back-to-back, but in a short period of time, and have just been uploading them as they edit them and whatnot. So, like, any feedback they've gotten, I'm pretty sure is going to mostly be seen in whatever season 2 will be when it comes out. So hopefully we do see, like, some collabs between this Justice Miles thing and Dropout TV. And maybe they will see my comment and try to get, like, Legal Eagle or Legal Bites on, because that would be really funny. So, like, maybe we'll see some of that in season 2. I'm kind of hopeful for that. I think, once again, I think that would honestly just be a great addition to what is already a really funny series. But yeah, sadly the videos aren't getting, like, a lot of views. I mean, you know, most of them have slightly over 100,000 views, but then some of them, one of them only has like 54,000, so they're not, like, being viewed a whole lot, so I don't know how much money he's making off of the videos, and if it's enough to continue this, because assumedly he's having to rent out this fake courtroom. So I don't know how much money they're spending on the production and whatnot, and how much he's making off of these videos, and if it, like, would justify that, the expenses that would come with having to do collabs with, like, Dropout TV, or getting Legal Eagle or Legal Bites on as well. So, who knows? Maybe it won't happen, maybe it will happen. I also think, like, a good idea would probably be just pitching, like, using this season 1 as a pitch for Dropout TV, because I think like moving this over to Dropout TV would probably be a good idea, but who knows? Because yeah, I think this guy was a part of Try Guys, and I think Try Guys did stuff with Dropout. Yeah, he is from the Try Guys. Did the Try Guys ever do anything with Dropout TV? Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like they've ever done anything with Dropout. Maybe I honestly don't know. I might be wrong. But yeah, if he could pitch this to Dropout TV, I think that would definitely be like a good idea. Because honestly, I think like the production values with Dropout and the cast that Dropout has would really do wonders for Justice Miles, and would push it even further than it already is to just be like even better. Shit, with the cast and crew of Dropout, you could even have like a jury, you know? Because I know that Smosh also did a similar thing for a little while, and they had their cast act as jury as well. So like having an actual jury, so it's not Justice Miles giving the verdict and whatnot, but like actually having a jury of, you know, comedians and whatnot would probably be like pretty solid as well, or even including Legal Eagle or Legal Bites or any other of these like real lawyer YouTube channels in the jury would honestly be really funny. But yeah, I definitely think if he can, I would honestly suggest pitching this to Dropout, because they would have the money to fund that kind of stuff, getting, you know, these collabs going with real lawyers off of YouTube and whatnot, and just overall improving the production value. Not that I think the production value is bad, don't get me wrong, the production value is already really good, but just like the extra funding that he could get from Dropout TV would really push this further than I think is possible on his own. But I might be wrong, because he is part of the Try Guys, and so like maybe he does already make enough money to like fund this by himself. I mean, obviously he does, since he made 5 videos with the Justice Miles thing already. So who knows? But yeah, that's something that I've been watching, and I kind of wanted to shout it out, so hopefully more people watch it, because I really enjoy it and I want to see it continue. So talking about it is a good way to get the word out that it's a thing going on that's really funny, that I enjoy. But yeah. Also, today's my sister's birthday. But she's working today, and I think she works tomorrow as well. We're actually going to be celebrating it we're going to be celebrating her birthday on Monday, because we have like family dinners on those days. So she comes over to my dad's and whatnot, and we just have dinner together. And he's going to be making his chili, which he makes the best fucking chili ever. So anytime we can, we talk him into making chili, because it's so fucking good. But yeah, I guess it's gonna be a shorter Deep Thoughts with Ratman though, because I honestly have nothing else to talk about, so I think I'm just gonna end it here. Stop after track. There we go. Song's about to end soon, so I'm just gonna keep rambling until it does. Alright, anyways, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.